you join the class?
Yeah.
Join, let me see so that I can. You have the link, right? Let me see if my screen is sharing. I'm sure that. My slide is showing too.
Okay.
So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to yet another class on web development. From our last class, from our previous classes, we started with HTML. Then in the last class, we started CSS. We did CSS, where we talked about the methods of applying CSS. We had like three different methods of applying CSS from our last class. We had inline CSS, where you apply it to only a single element. We have the internal CSS, where you create something, a tag called style in the header section. Then you apply the CSS there, then it will work. Then for the third one is what we call the external CSS. You create a file, a separate file from your HTML file, which we carry the extension .css. We carry the extension .css. What this .css does is that it creates a CSS syntax inside it and how you want it to, what how you want the web page to look like. Like if there's a H1, you want the H1 to, you want to change the color of the H1, the you have to align it center and all those things. You can apply it there. Then you come to the HTML tag. There's something called link. Use the link syntax, the link tag to apply the CSS so that all the major this thing you've done there will reflect on your HTML file. Then we went ahead to do CSS selector, right? We did CSS selectors where we said for last week, for the purpose of this class, though, we are going to be talking about just two types of CSS selectors. Where we talked about the class selector and the ID selector, and we saw how each of them are created and how they are used. For this class selector, you use dots and the name of the selector you want to create. Let's say I want to create a selector called box now. I put dot box, then I create a curly bracket, then I put all the design I want to make inside it. Then I go back to the place where I want to apply that design. I just call it class. Then you put the name of the this thing box. Then it's going to apply all the corrections there, all the design there for you. Then we also have the other one called the ID selector. This one, the class uses dot plus the name of the class. This ID now is not, it does not use dot. It uses hash. It uses hash. Then plus the name of the selector. Maybe you want to create an ID called box. Instead of using dot box, you say hash box. Then you create a curly bracket, you add the necessary corrections, and everything will come in. So that's that for that about that in our last class. So for today now, we are going to be starting with what we call CSS display. We start with what we call CSS display. So CSS display is one of the most important um, is one of the most important property of a CSS. It is used to control the layout of the element, how the element will look like on site. It specifies how the element is displayed. Although by default, every element has a display value, which is block. That's the default value of every element. Block. That's why if you see, if you don't specify the CSS display property, if you are creating a file, you see they always come in on top of each other. Even if there is space at the other side, it's not going to the next one is not going to go to that place. What it will do is, as if you create, let's say there's a H1 now, you put this thing there. Even if there's space at the other side, it's not going to continue. If let's say you want to create a H2 now, even if there's space at the other side, it's not going to continue from there. What it will do is to go to the next line and continue it. Then if that's how it's going to stack on each other. So that's the default display value of every HTML except when it is specified. And there are different types of this CSS display. The first one is what we call display inline. Display inline. So display inline element, what it does is the elements are in one line. The elements are in one line in such a way that even if even if you specify the height and the width of the element, it's not going to increase. What it does is it will only take the shape of the content of the element. It will only take the shape of the content of the element. Let's say I want to create a a hello box now using the inline syntax. What it will do is the hello tag is, it's just 5 letters. So it's just all the only space that it needs for that 5 letters is what it's going to occupy. It's not going to occupy more than that, and even the height is not going to be bigger than that. Even when you specify that, okay, let the height be 100 pixels or let the width be 100 pixels, it will not have effect on it. Exactly. It will not have effect on it. So let's try and see how the sorry, do you have VS Code on your system? So create a file inside your listing. A file. Not create a folder, sorry. Let's create a folder and name the folder display. Let's create a folder and name the folder display. Have you done that? So let's create a folder and name the folder display. Have you done that? How far? So inside the folder, let's create a HTML file. Let's create a HTML file. Inside the folder, let's create a HTML file. Have you done that? Create a HTML file and name it inline.html. Inside the display folder, you have to create inside the folder now. Uh-huh. Inline.html. Inline.html. Are we together? You've done that right? Have you added the boilerplate? Have you added the syntax? No the shortcut, right? Okay, shift one, enter. Shift one, enter. Did it show? Mhm. So let's go to that place inside the document, inside the title that they wrote document. Change it to inline. Have you enabled live preview on your have you enabled live preview on your own? Okay. Let me show you how to do that. When you are ready. Are you ready? Come to this place. Click on it. Is your system connected to the internet? Okay. Set for live preview. Live preview. You see something like this. Have you seen it? Click on, you see a button here called install. Install it. Once it's done, it will take you to something like this. Has it done? Uh-huh. Now close it. It's come up here. This place. Text. Click on it. Yes. Uh-huh. Now put your right click on your this thing. That inline HTML file. Have you right click? You see show preview. Click on it. It's like this. So what this does is it will help you instead of going to the browser always and coming back. As you are making the correct, as you are making the necessary corrections here, it will be showing it to you. This my oga here already knows. That's why he's not answering us. So now let's go to the body part, this body element part, and create a div. Mm, You create a div. Okay, instead of creating a div, let's create H1 and call it hello. Or H2, sorry, H2, and put hello inside. Have you done that? Then come to the head section under this inline here. Have you done that? Inside here. Right? Style. Are you following us? Online people, are we together? Right? Style. Right? Click enter. Have you done that? Then you come back to this your head, this your body part. Clean this H2 first. Cancel the H2. Create a div. Cancel the H2. Create a div. Have you created a div? Enter. Inside the div, you put your H2 inside. You put your H2 inside. Are you getting something like this? Are we together? So inside this style now, we are going to create something called a class. We talked about class just now, right? A class. So how does a class work? You say dot box. Let's say dot box. Have you done that? Then open curly brackets. Enter. Have you done that? So the first thing we are going to do is we are changing the background color. Say back. Immediately I click it, it will be showing you option. Are you together? Change it to any color of your choice. Have you done that? Mhm. You change the color of the text. Just say color. Have you done that? Any color of your choice. Are you together? Then now come down and say display. Then you click on inline. Have you seen it? Inline. Right? Uh-huh. So now you come to this div here, the opening tag of the div, and call the class. This class that you created. You know how to call class? What am I going to? How is one brand color not showing? Is it not showing? Why? There's something I'm supposed to do that I didn't do.
Changing when I moved
When you remove the
to the so I moved
okay, I'm coming. Let me check something. Okay, okay. Remove the H2. Have you done that? So as you can see, the box only it only takes the space it needs. It does not. So even if you come here now and say, okay, let's increase the width to 100 pixel, it's not going to answer you because it does not need 100 pixel for it. It's not going to answer you. If you increase the height, it's not going to. It only takes the number of space that it needs. That's how the inline display property works. Is that clear? Are we together? Our online people, how far are we together? So the next one now that we are going to be looking at is what we call the display block. The display, like I said earlier, display block displays elements stack by stack. That is, they stack it over each other. You understand? Like for example, if you go back to this one now, and you create another div, you create another div close to it. You create another div here, and say, okay, this thing for it, the same class. As you can see, it moved it to the other side. That's how it will continue to move it until the space is filled up. There's no more space. Then it will now come down to the next line. You understand? That's how this one works. But in block, whether there is space here or not, it has already taken the whole line. So it's going to put it on the next line for you. So let's create another file called block inside the same this thing block.html main folder. So let's change the title to block. Then here you create a div can say hello. So let's create a class. Should we use class or ID? It starts with inside the style tag. Have we done that? Are we all here together? So we would put display and make it what? Block. Put height and make it 100 pixel. You put width and make it 100 pixel. Have you done that? Have you done that? Then change the background color to any color of your choice. Then change the text color. Change the text color. Have you done that? So we now come to the div here now and call it ID equal to equal to ID. I named it ID. Let's see if the name will work. It worked, right? Have you done that? Did it work? So let's create another box now, another div now, and put word inside the div. Did it show you like this? Hmm? So if you create another one now and you still make it this thing, it's still going to come under it because this one already, this hello now already occupied the whole space here. This word already occupied the whole space here. You understand? Already occupied the whole space here. So anyone that is coming will not see space by this side. So it definitely go down. So is that clear? So we now know how to use the inline and the block now, right? So the next one we are going to be learning for today. Those of you online, how far are we together? Is my screen not showing? stopped. What of them? Still not showing. Sorry, those of you online, we are back now. Hope you can, Jibri Garba, hope you can see it now. Just kindly indicate so that I'll pick you up from wherever you are lost so that we can continue from there. Thank you. So the third one now that we're going to be checking, the inline block. The third one is what we call the inline block. What this one does is it will display, it has the property of both block and inline. It's a way that you can, in inline, are you together? In the inline, you can't change the width or the height, right? Then in the block, you cannot put them side by side, right? But this one has those two characters. You can change the width and the height. Then even if you change the width and the height, you can also put them side by side. So it uses this is the syntax is used display inline block. So let's see how it works. Let's create another file inside the folder and name it inline block.html. We're going to name it inline block.html. Jibri Gariba, are we together? Are you following us? So now we create the. Are we here now? Change the title. Let's change the title to inline block. Have you done that? We are going to create four separate divs. Four separate divs. Have you done that? Have we created the four separate divs? So put whatever you want to, or anything you want to write inside it, inside the four separate divs. So I'm going to make use of hello for my own. Have we done that? we done that? Hmm? Can we continue now? So, after creating the div, then you come to after this title tag. So you choose any one of your choice. You may decide to use class or ID. You know how to use it now. So anyone you like, create anyone. Have you done that? Change the display inline block. Have you done that? Background color to any color of your choice. Have you done that? Height 100 pixel. Width 100 pixel. Yes. Now we can now call the class. Done. You have something like that. It's not showing like that. If you notice, immediately you call maybe when you call the first one, the box showed, right? When you now call it the second one, it immediately left down and went to the other side. So one good thing about this one is it's very responsive, such that normally before, if it's not this inline, you understand? If you reduce the screen size, if you reduce the screen size, it's going to start managing adjusting itself until they all fit into that one line. You understand? Until they all fit into the one line. But this one, at the moment you do it, and there is no more space for it here, it will come to the next line. It will come to the next line. You can see, right? The moment there is no more space at the other side, it will come to the next line. But if it is inline, only inline, what it will do is, if you are reducing the screen size, if you are reducing the screen size, instead of it to come to the next line, the box will be shrinking so that it can contain the whole line at a time. Are we following? Are we following? Okay. So that's how the CSS display works. That's how the CSS display works. What it does is it will show you to how the layout of the website is going to look like. No, sometimes you might want to arrange some things so that they all be on one line. Sometimes you want to arrange them vertically. Then sometimes you want them to have a shape, and because you know the inline, you cannot add size to it. You cannot add size to it. It just the what do you call it? The size of your content block. It cannot go vertical. It can only go horizontal. So now it can go both horizontal and vertical. The size can do with it. Exactly. Now the next this thing we are done with CSS display attributes that is called CSS float. Hmm? The assignment. Oh, I'll check it. So CSS float. What this CSS float does is that it's sorry. What the CSS flow does is that it aligns text, it aligns for text wrapping. You know, like I was giving an example in our last class where I said maybe for a newspaper now, right? You might see a single division of a newspaper. You see by the one corner, you see a very tiny picture. Then you see a writing at the top of it, right? Then you see a text that is by this side. Then under the picture, the text will continue from under it. You think you see something like that, right? So this in the note I said earlier, web development, they took some of the ideas from newspaper display to implement web development. So what this one does is it wraps the text around a an image. It wraps text around an image. So let's see how it works. First of all, let's go to our web browser. Let's go to our web browser and see if we can download any picture. Let's download any nice picture we can download. Go to your web browser and do that. Or if you have any picture of your choice that you want to use, you have any picture of your choice, right? Uh-huh. So let's create a new CSS file now. File, sorry. Let's create a new HTML file and name it float.html. Float.html to float. Have we changed the title? Have we changed the title? Have we done that? So H1, let's create a H1 and name it this is float. Go to Google and search something like this and copy the text. You don't have to copy or just copy a single paragraph like this first one. Have you seen it? Have you copied? Okay, let's go back to our. So we've created the H1, right? So add image using the image tag. Have you added the image? Have you- Make sure the image is saved inside the same folder so that you can use it. Have you done that? What do you do? You do that. No, it's not inside out. If added it, let me know. Can we go? The image now. Then under the image tag, create a paragraph. Then inside it, that is thing you copied just now from. Have you done that? Hmm?
Yes.
Okay.
use fan plus extension. Try.
You won't carry one.
I've done one. That's one.
You won't carry one.
I'll carry the extension.
What will come to you?
It's in our rechargeable now, so you'll be power.
The fan, you know how to work program. Look at charge, you know how to work program.
You'll really need a wide extension. What is your percentage?
I'm almost through. So we've done that, right? Hmm? Have you added the text?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go back to this our head section under the title tab and create style. Can we do that now? Have you created style? Let's make our heat one look beautiful. So you can see you can change the color of our heat one. The text align. Are you doing that? Align center. Have we done that? So now let's go to image part. IMG. Right? Now let's edit our image. Let's change the height. Let's change the height. What are changing the height to? Let's say 100. 100 pixels. Have you done that? Change the width to 100 pixels too. Have you done that? I put float. Maybe put float left. What happened? It's like this. It's not like this.
Yes.
So that's how the float left work. So the more you are reducing the screen size, the more the work will be going down. You can see it, right?
If you are browsing through the website,
Mm.
many of them are just like this. How do we, if someone else is browsing the website, maybe how do the website background, how get its size? How do we determine the size of the website, maybe we going to say like this, or we going to say like this?
Yeah, we are going to do that. We are going to do that. That's like the next thing we are going to be talking about. So now we've seen how float works now, right? We now know how to add float, add image, have your text, then how to float them together so that the text and the image are together. And as you can see, you can change float to right. You change it to right, the image will move to right. Image will move to right. Is that clear? Are we together? So can we continue now? Can we continue now? Those of us online, how far are we together? So uh, our next topic or subtopic rather is what we call media queries. Is what we call media queries. So what this media queries do is it's like the question he asked. You know, if you want to leave the site the way it is like this now, on the phone, it might this thing might be too big. Like everything might be too big to be together on the phone. So it will make the writing tiny, tiny, and it will be disturbing the person. You want to have text, you want to have email, you want to have text together, so it will look somehow. So the what the media query does, what the media query does is that it allows you to set various screen size. You know, like for your phone, it has its own screen resolution, right? For your tablet, they have their own screen resolution. For laptop, for desktop, for TV and projector, all of them have different screen resolution. So to do that now, we use what we call the media query. So it allows you to set various aspects of the screen size. So let's see how the media query works. Let's create another HTML file inside the display file and name it media underscore query dot html.
The underscore is important.
Hmm?
The underscore is important.
It will be good if we add it. We are naming a file here, so you can either use underscore or use what we call camel casing, such that after the media, the query will start with capital letter Q, but there will be no space between them. Because in naming, there's not supposed to be space. So the underscore is just like creating the space. So if you don't use that underscore, you can use what we call camel casing. So after the media, the next word that is coming, which is query, you start with instead of small letter Q, you start with small letter Q, but there will be no space in between it. Is that clear? Now change the title to media query. Have you done that? So let's create a div now. Have you done that? So you come to this. There are two. You can either create a separate CSS file, the same way you used to create an external CSS, or you can do it here. Anyone you do, it's valid. Just because we are doing small, the work we are doing is not that much. That's why we are using the embedded CSS. If it's a bulk work, it's better you do the CSS elsewhere. Then you just call it here and voila, everything will go. So inside here now is create a what do you call it? A class. Create a class dot box. Have you created a class? Have you created a class? So let's say height of the this thing now. Let's make it 200 pixels, right? Width. Let's make it 200 pixels, right? Background color. Any one of your choice. I like blue, so I'll choose blue. Have you done that? I've done that, right? Then you now come to this opening tag of the div and call the class. Hmm? Have you called the class? As you can see, the size is still the same thing, right? So you reduce it, increase it. So you now come back to this style part. This style part. Say at media. At media. Have you done that? Then insert open and close bracket. Have you done that? Mean width. Let's put it at 600 pixels. That's what I'm doing. After the mean width, you can remove that last semicolon. After the mean width, 600 pixels. Did you create the curly bracket? Up. Uh-huh. Up. You put it yourself. You put the color yourself and put the size. Are we together? Hope your main weight change color to blue. Is it blue like Mao? It changed now. Let me see. Is it still white? Let me see. No, not all of them is to. It changed. It changed. So 600 pixels. So have you created the curly bracket outside it? Then inside the curly bracket now, inside the curly bracket now, which one am I calling? The box or the div? Let's say div and see div and that curly bracket. Are we 100 pixels? Div and color. From there, let's take some.
For calling the wanting option that you never go to something.
No, no. Something is wrong somewhere. Come, let me check. I'm listening.
I think the point was like the whole time. That's the whole
The
time.
whole edit, the whole this thing you made.
Yes, from the box, side to side.
Did you try it then? Did it work? Try it, let's see. Let me see. Okay. Okay, it's the dot box you call, right? You call it dot box. Instead of the D, you call it dot box. The one is not working. It's not working. Let me see. I using me with command suite. It's working now. I have many unsaved. Anyone that you know you're not working on currently can upload it since they're all like you said. See it right?
Yes, sir.
Can see it right? So it's working. So that's how the that's how the media query works. So there are other deflex box, tiny deflex box. You can use grid also, but I'm not going to go that far. So for our classwork for today, we are going to let's go. Let's get a picture of. Let's take a picture of two animals, maybe a cat and a dog, right? No, great. You are welcome. You are late to class today. What happened? Hope all is well. Have you gotten the save the first one as a cat dot the which animal did you get? So save the first one as cat dot png, second one as dog dot png. Have you done that?
Yes, sir.
Let's create another folder. And name it classwork. So that's what we are going to. That's where the two pictures should be inside the classwork folder. So inside the classwork folder, we create another file and call it. Have we done that? So let's change the title to what? Change the title to classwork. So here now we are going to call the image tag. We are going to use image tag and call the cat's image first. We've added the cat image. So let's create a paragraph tag. That lorem ipsum that we copied earlier, put it here again. Have we done that? Have we done that? Then let's add the dog image. Now let's come to after this title and create style. Or should we use external?
Yes.
Should we use external? So create a folder, a file, and call it style.css here. Style.css. Have you done that? Hmm? So let's edit our image tag first. Image tag, float left. The size is okay, or should we reduce it a bit? Is the size okay? Okay. So we're done with image. Let's edit our paragraph tag. Paragraph, text align, justify. Have we done that? Have we done the text align?
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Have we done the text align? So let's call it in our index.html and see. So you come to after this title, you know how to call it now. Did it change?
Yes.
Did your own change?
I think we do.
Sorry, I'm coming. I see the code. The header tag. Have you style.css? What it is such a way that the have you gone? So you say at wait, sorry, mistake. Why am I in the hole? Why am I open and close brackets? Width and create another open bracket again. Max width, you make it 480 pixels. Have you done that? See? So after the closing bracket of that this thing, they are creating it. Have you all done that? The body now, let's change background color. So you change the background color of the body alone. Change the background color. Then after it, you now come to the you now come and do image. So what this thing does here is don't work. What this thing does here is if the screen size is reduced to a particular size, you understand, it's going to instead of making it like this, as you can see, I increase the screen size. That's why it You understand? So if it's small, like let's say on our phone now, if it's on our phone, this is how it's going to look like. Let's say if you want to open this website on the phone now, this is how it's going to look like on the phone because of the screen resolution. So you can change it for various types of screen. Exactly. So that's how the media query works. Are we following? So if for those of us that have you followed us on have you subscribed to our channel on YouTube? What of you? Okay, thank you very much. So for those of us that would like to continue with the class, we will go deeper into like like if those of us that will continue with us for advanced class, we are going to go deeper. You can see that those ones are even easy. Exactly. Friday, right? That will be our last class for this thing. So by that next class, we'll be talking about bootstrap. We're talking about bootstrap and how to use it. Then finally, we are going to design our final project for the class. Is that clear? So thank you very much. Any question? No, you understand everything. So if there's any hiccup somewhere, you know how to reach me, right? So I'm always available. So if we go home now, let's try and see how we can edit more or work more on this thing. Try and challenge yourself. Look for something you can always try to design something by yourself and see how it works. That's why you learn programming. All this thing I'm teaching you is just for you to know how they work. So it's left alone for you now to go and do more research and better yourself. Is that clear? So thank you very much. I will see you in our next class. Bye.